Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm back today to continue this color along. This beautiful piece of artwork is from Grazia Salvo's Wild Soul book. I have a few previous tutorials that I did here on my channel. I did one for the background. This is pan pastels and stencils. I also have a tutorial showing you how to create this beautiful fur effect on the leopard. Then I have a skin tutorial, and let me tell y'all, when I was filming that skin tutorial, it was probably one of the first videos that I've ever done where I got to a certain point and I was laying down the colors and I did not like the way that it was turning out. And so that video actually shows you making a mistake, not liking how it turned out, and going through and explaining my entire process of the things that I did to fix it so you could see what it looks like at the point where I felt like I messed it up. And then you can see me go through the entire process of fixing what I didn't like. And so it's a really great video for those of you that have struggled and you start a coloring page and you don't like how something turns out and you're getting really frustrated and you just want to scrap it. And let me tell y'all, I was ready to scrap the entire video, scrap the entire coloring page, and just be done with it. I was so frustrated, and so I decided I could use all the footage and turn it into a video that encouraged y'all to just never give up when you feel like you make a mistake, and show you how I went through the process of fixing it and really loving how it turned out in the end. So if you've not seen that video, I will have the entire playlist for this color along linked in the upper right hand corner. If you check the description box down below, you will find links down there for my Etsy shop, my Facebook group, my email list, and my Patreon if you would like to support me there. I also now have membership on my channel. If you would like to join the membership and get extra special perks, you can click the join button down below the video. Okay, y'all, so I'm really excited to share this hair color with you. This is going to be a very natural hair color that is almost black with some shades of very dark brown with red highlights. And it's going to be very different probably from any other tutorial that you have seen. I had scoured the internet to see if there was anything like this to get ideas for color combinations, and I found nothing. So I spent a lot of time putting together my own color combination to see which colors worked perfect. I did practice it on another copy of this page before I made the video. So hopefully I'll be able to replicate it and show y'all how I did it, because I absolutely love it. And it's really cool because it just brings in all of the colors from the page. And when I come back and I color in her clothing, it's going to look super cool. So the colors I'm going to use for this are black, chocolate, Sienna Brown, dark umber, and light umber. I'm not going to bring in the black until the very end. I do have another color that I'm thinking about adding at the very end as well, and that is Terracotta. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet or not. We'll see what happens after I get all the colors laid down and in their places. But I'm going to start with the darkest brown, which is dark umber. This is the darkest out of all of the browns. And I'm going to use this color just to follow the grayscale. I do have a very sharp lead on my pencil. I have sharpened all of my pencils. And I'm going to use this color and follow all of the darkest areas of the grayscale. When you're coloring grayscale, always use the grayscale as a guide. Don't ever be afraid of grayscale. I get messages all the time, or see posts all the time, or even comments on my YouTube channel where so many of you are nervous and really don't want to color grayscale because it intimidates you just a little bit. And I find that the grayscale is wonderful to color on because it's actually a guide as to where to lay the colors. So you can see that I'm using this darkest brown just to lay over all of the areas that have the darkest shade of grayscale. And when you're using Prismacolors, you will probably, or most likely, have to be sharpening your pencils in between because they are a very soft pencil. I think I said in another video that I was going to try to use polychromos for a hair tutorial. If you would like to see that, let me know in the comments below, because polychromos are a harder pencil, and so they are a little bit easier to color hair, because when you're coloring hair you just have to do this stroking motion. And with the Prismacolors, I find that I have to turn my pencil a whole lot. It does help because it helps you to keep a sharper lead on your pencil if you just continue to keep turning it, but you will have to grab your pencil sharpener and sharpen it quite often because the lead does go pretty flat pretty quickly. So I did just sharpen it, and I'm coming back to lay down some more color. And I think I'm going to turn her upside down. Don't ever be afraid to turn your image so that you can get the right angle when you're coloring, because when I come up here, I want to be able to go more so in a down motion, and it just makes it easier if I have the coloring page upside down. Always turn your coloring page to where it is most comfortable for you. Now this dark umber is a very, very dark color. It's probably the darkest of the browns that we have in the Prismacolor set. It's very dark brown, almost black, but not quite. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more so I can get over here in these darker areas. This is the colored pencil paper. So this paper does have quite a bit of tooth. It makes it really great for coloring hair or coloring animals because you could see the texture in the paper. Right in here around her face where her hair is, I want to make sure that it's quite darker. I want to make sure that I get these little wispies. And if you have not attempted to color hair yet, coloring hair is actually a lot of fun, and it's actually rather easy. So I know it's much lighter up in here, but I'm gonna sort of do my own thing and give her a little bit of this darkest brown in this area here as well, because I want her hair to look rather dark, but I still want to be able to see those light brown or reddish highlights. And now I have my chocolate, and I'm going to come in with this color, and I'm going to start layering some of this color in between and over the dark umber. And I don't want to cover all of the white area or the lightest of the gray area that you see quite yet. I just want to lay this color all in and around where the previous color is, just to add some contrast. I think this is probably the shortest hair that I've ever colored, so hopefully this one won't take that long. I love coloring long hair or like braids or ringlets and things like that, and so this hair is very different, but I can't wait to see what this page looks like when it's done. Let's make sure I come in here where she's got the wispies. And I still have several other colors, so I just want to make sure that I'm laying this color in all of the other places where I laid the previous color, but not filling all of the spaces. I think this space right here is actually her skin, so I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to come back and fix that and color that in with some of the skin colors that I used. Okay, so I actually just fixed that really quick so that I didn't get mixed up. Now I'm switching to the light umber, and I'm going to come in here and do the same thing with the light umber that I did with the chocolate. And I'm only using a little bit of this color because this is not the color that's going to add a whole lot of contrast. And I haven't brought in any of my colors yet that have a bit of an orangey or reddish tint to them. That's probably enough of that color for now, and we will come back with it again. Now I have the Sienna Brown, and this is the color that's going to go ahead and add some of our highlights in here. Look how pretty that is. So this is going to be my highlight color, and I don't know yet if I'm going to add another highlight color because this hair is going to be pretty dark in the end, and I don't want to have too many colors. I've already got quite a few. So you can see I'm using this color to go in the areas that I didn't put any color in yet, and that's why I left those spaces opened so that I could come back with this color and add that highlight. But you're gonna see when this is done how it looks like someone's actual natural hair color that has very, very dark hair, but has a lot of reddish brown highlights. I don't want to add too much of this because I don't want too much red in her hair. I just want some of these highlights just in different places. I am going to come over this again, like I said, with other colors, so it's all going to just sort of blend in together and look really pretty. At least I hope. Now I'm going to come back with the chocolate, and I'm just going to add in another layer of this color. And a lot of the way to the paper is starting to get filled. You could see the color starting to come together, and this is where we start to layer the colors right over one another. I have found the chocolate pencil in the Prismacolor set to be one of the absolute softest, and so a lot of times I experience a lot of issues with a whole lot of breakage, and then it's always one of the colors that I decide to use for hair, it seems. And you could see that this is a lot of where the main hair color is coming from, because this chocolate has a lot of brown in it, but it's a really pretty brown. It just goes really nicely with the Sienna Brown. Right here where I still have some of the white of the paper, I think I want to come in there and use the Sienna Brown. But can you see how it's really starting to come together now? We haven't even added our last color, and there's another color I may want to bring in, but I absolutely love these colors together. So I have my Sienna Brown again, and I want to come in here where I've got all this hair, and I want to make that highlight a little bit more pronounced here. When you're coloring hair, it's all about just coming back and going over it again, using this stroking motion and continually just going over it. And if you have enough of the right colors, you'll actually be able to see the strands and the contrast in the strands. Okay, so I just sharpened my chocolate pencil again, and I'm coming back in here again with this color. I am loving how this looks so far, and I'm not even done. So now what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, do I need another? Let me come back with the dark umber actually, because that was my darkest color. And I'm gonna come in here and start making a little bit more of a contrast with these colors and adding this color back in. Do you see how this color is just darkening it up? It's darkening it up, but you could still see all of the other colors. And it's just creating a really cool contrast and making her hair super, super dark. And I want to make sure I get right in here. The top of the head is always the most difficult here, but the root of the hair is always going to be the darkest. So I want to make sure that I get plenty of this color up in here. Gosh, I love how this is turning out, y'all. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. But I think that we need to come back with the Sienna Brown. But I just want to use this Sienna Brown to fill some more of the white of the paper and create a little bit more of a contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Terracotta now, and I'm going to start going into some of the areas of her hair, not everywhere, and I'm just going to start adding some of this color, which is going to give her a little bit more of a contrast and make a little bit more of a highlighted area, or just the red tones that I want to be able to see in her hair. Oh, I think this is making a huge difference. Okay, I don't want to add too much of this color. I think that's probably enough. Now I'm going to come in with the black. And I'm going to try to go over some of these areas and create a little bit more of a contrast with these colors, making the highlights stand out just a little bit more, but adding the black in where all of the shadowed areas were, right in with that dark umber. Then I'm really going to have to finish this up and keep adding layers of the colors. I think I want to come back with the Sienna Brown and really make these highlights so that they really stand out and show. And so I'm going to try to start filling a lot of the white of the paper now, using a little bit more pressure as I come back with this color. When I tell y'all I scoured the internet trying to find a hair color that was like this, I could not believe that there was nothing like this, because so many people have this for a natural hair color. Just a very dark, dark brown, almost black. And then when you go out in the sun and the sun hits your hair or any kind of lighting, you've got those red highlights in your hair that just really pop. Now I'm coming back with the black, and I'm just adding a little bit more of this in here, because I find with the black that you could really see these strands much more than you can with the dark umber. Now I have the light umber, and I'm just coming back and adding another layer of this. I would like to see her hair come together a little bit better, so I'm going to speed it up to music, and I'm just going to try to fill in some of that white. Okay, y'all, I think our very dark brownish red with some black. I mean, I just got all the colors in there. I absolutely love the way that it turned out, but we do have quite a bit of very dark browns in there. We've still got our very dark reddish brown highlights, and I absolutely love it. I was so excited to come up with this hair color combination. So I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. The next one will be where we color in her clothing, and I've got a really cool color that I want to color her clothes. So stay tuned for that one in the next video. If you try this hair color combination, I would love to see it, so please share it in my Facebook group. Everything that you've seen in this video will be in the description box below so that you could easily find it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.